Ah, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. It's been more than 30 years now since Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles have been released, and while Sonic as a franchise has moved on and grown in scale over the years, I still believe that this classic, with the two titles combined together, still rank among the very best titles in the entire series, even with Sonic's gigantic library of games, new and old. Well, I can sit here and explain why I still think that it is the best Sonic game ever made, which I'm going to do in the future. That's actually not the reason for this video. No. I'm here to show you, with this comprehensive guide, how to obtain all of the Chaos Emeralds, all of the Super Emeralds, and how to unlock the very best and most fun reward that the combined game of Sonic 3 and Knuckles has to offer, Hyperforms. Also, for players that are looking to maximise their score, lives, and continues during their playthrough, I will be showing you how to obtain the perfect while in these special stages, which will earn players 50,000 points and a 1-up for their trouble. To obtain the emeralds, players need to also be familiar with giant ring locations, and if you want to know where all 77 giant rings are in the game, I do have a guide that you can check out, which I will put in the description. So let's talk about how getting the emeralds works. Upon jumping into a giant ring, you will be transported to one of 7 special stages. The order of these special stages and corresponding emerald to collect is always set, and the order is as follows: green, yellow, purple, blue, white, red, and cyan, in that order. Whether you complete this special stage or fail, the game will then move on to the next emerald and special stage the next time that you jump into a giant ring. This means in the original version of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, you are unable to retry special stages until you've already looped through the entire order. Sonic Origins' version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles actually introduces a collectible coin and retry feature, so if you fail in getting a special stage, it means that you can just retry them, and it means getting the emeralds is so much easier. How you can also retry and practice these stages if you're playing different versions of the game, I will talk about and timestamp in the description at the end of the guide. In the standalone versions of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, this is how getting the emeralds will always play out. Once you've beaten the 7 special stages and then collected the 7 Chaos Emeralds, you will then be able to transform into Super Sonic or Super Knuckles, and now with Sonic Origins, Super Tails and Super Amy, and play and beat the game as per usual. But in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, there is a twist. Once you have reached the end of the launch base and given Robotnik the boot, you will then touch down in Mushroom Hill and be treated to an all-new cutscene if you are playing as Sonic or Tails, where they actually have the jump on Knuckles. Once our red-coloured adversary then leaves, we can then see what he's been keeping secret, which is a multicoloured giant ring. As soon as you jump through it, you will then be taken to the shrine of the Master Emerald. The Chaos Emeralds that are in your possession will then be relinquished and form 7 grey pedestals surrounding the emerald. All of these pedestals, upon jumping upon them, will lead to a different special stage, and completing the special stage, the Chaos Emeralds of that chosen colour will then be turned into a Super Emerald. This means that you can choose any order that you like to obtain the Super Emeralds. If you haven't already obtained the Chaos Emeralds by the time that you've reached Mushroom Hill, you'll be able to go through the multicoloured ring and turn one of your emeralds into Super Emeralds, but you'll still need to obtain the rest of the Chaos Emeralds before you're able to convert all of them into Super Emeralds. I hope that makes it clear. So let's talk about how the special stages in Sonic 3 and Knuckles work. Players must move around a 32 by 32 grid, shaped like a globe. Fun fact, but the concept of these special stages actually come from King Kai's planet, which is yet another reference to the Dragon Ball Z franchise. 7 Dragon Balls, 7 Chaos Emeralds, Super Saiyans, Super Sonic, you get the idea. Player movement works by moving along a grid, and holding left or right will move the player character 90 degrees in that direction. Players can also jump, and the distance of this will always be 2 spaces long. You cannot turn whilst in the air, but you can as soon as you land. I recommend that you hold left or right on the D-pad rather than tap for controlled movement. The primary objective of these stages is to get blue spheres and obtain all of them within the stage. Once a blue sphere is collected, it will then turn red. Touching a red sphere will immediately result in being ejected from the special stage and failure to obtain the emerald, so you must avoid these at all costs. Silver bumpers or ricochet the player backwards and will require pushing forward on the D-pad to regain control. Gold spheres will launch the player 5 spaces forward or backward, depending on which way they are going. While there is no time limit in these special stages, the speed of the game and the music will gradually increase over time, making movement much more difficult to control and to be precise. The secondary, yet not mandatory objective, is also to collect rings to improve the player's score. Rings can be collected in the world space and are visible, but there are also rings that are hidden which are revealed when a certain parameter is met. If the player moves and completely encircles a block of blue spheres with red spheres, then all of the surrounding spheres will then turn into rings. Bumpers and gold spheres are not affected by this, so just bear that in mind. Mastering this technique is crucial for both obtaining a perfect and making life a bit easier in collecting blue spheres. If the player collects all available rings in a special stage, they will achieve a perfect. This has to be done before collecting all of the blue spheres in the stage. If a player fails to get the emerald, but yet manages to collect all of the rings, the perfect bonus will still apply. In the top left hand corner, there is a tally that will tell you how many blue spheres there are left to collect. Depending on the version of the game you are playing, the ring counter will also tell you how many you have collected if it's the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or how many are left in the later versions. So, special stage number 1, the Green Chaos Emerald. Nice little introductory level to blue spheres. Just remember what I said earlier on in the guide. If you see a perimeter of, or a block of blue spheres, if you go all the way around the outside, you can turn them all into rings. The only thing in this level you have to watch out for is if the speed gets too high. Navigating this little slalom here of blue spheres can be quite difficult, but providing that you get every sphere that you should and every ring that you shouldn't be here too long. Once again, just be careful not to run into the red spheres or else you'll fail and you'll have to start over. Right, now we've got 16 left, so as soon as we capture this block of 16 here, we should have the perfect. And then all we have to do is just grab these last 4 spheres, and then that is the very first special stage done. 1 down, 13 to go. So, special stage number 2, the Yellow Chaos Emerald. From the start, I'd recommend that you go right here. There's 3 ways you can go here, but I think right is the best way. Nothing going on really with this level. It is slightly longer than the last one, so you're going to be running at slightly higher speeds than you were before. But just have a go here, just practicing encircling these blocks of spheres. There's quite a lot of them to be encircled in this level, so just take the time just to practice doing it. Because as I mentioned earlier, mastering this technique is going to make your life much easier, and it's the only way that you can achieve the perfect. Now, even though we're encircling this block of spheres, that bumper will not turn into a ring. It will not affect gold balls or silver bumpers. As you can see, the speed's starting to increase a little bit now. If you ever find yourself going a bit too fast and you just want to just kind of try and compose your thoughts, just hold right or hold left on the spot, and then that just allows you just to give you a little bit of time just to compose yourself. I often find that it works for me. And then that is Chaos Emerald number 2. So, special stage number 3, the Purple Chaos Emerald. Another straightforward level. This one is slightly longer than the previous 2. but there isn't really anything going on. How you're seeing the stage play out now is going to be the running theme for the rest of the stage. To get the perfect, you have to remember to jump the last 2 spheres just to gather the square here. If you just run through the 2 spheres to get to it, you won't be able to get the perfect, unfortunately, because it means that you would have gotten all the spheres in the stage. So just make sure at the end of the stage to remember to leave the last 2. It's going to be a series of bumpers coming up in a minute. Just jump over this one, turn right, turn left, and then you're through them. If you do get hit by a bumper, just remember to hold up just to recorrect yourself. Right, so we've got 18 left now, so we need to jump over these last 2 spheres here. And as long as we've got 2 or even 1 spheres left, we can get the perfect. And then that is the 3rd Chaos Emerald down. 3 down, 11 to go. Special stage number 4, the blue Chaos Emerald. This level is definitely trickier than the others that you've done so far. What you want to do is kind of follow this path of blue spheres that's been laid out for you. So grab these 4, encircle these 9 here just to get some rings, and then just keep following the path of blue spheres. Now you've got a series of tricky little jumps here. Turn 1, 2, 3, like that. Come through here, gather these. Now to get the perfect, come through these 4 here. Now you want to break off right, and as you can see there is a huge block of blue spheres here, so just go all the way around the outside, and then that's a whole lot of rings to gather. Once you've gathered those 4 spheres, just make sure you break off and grab all these over here. Otherwise, as soon as you turn all these into rings, the stage will already be complete and you won't be able to get the perfect. Right, now we've got to find where those last 13 are. There they are, over there. And then we've claimed the blue Chaos Emerald. Special stage number 5, the white Chaos Emerald. These bumpers here, jump over them at the start. And in this level we have to leave 4 spheres left over. All the other spheres in the level are going to be blocks of blue spheres like here. But there's going to be 4 single ones that we'll need to gather up later. So make sure you get all the blocks of these first. Make sure you leave the four single ones to the very end. Now in this level, you can lose your bearings if you're not careful, and particularly when the speed gets a bit higher. Yeah, you can find yourself, it can be a bit of a mad rush to get the last few spheres. Where these red spheres are, as you can see, there is a gap here, jump over them. Come up here, and then come over here. Right, now we need to find these last 4 spheres, and I think, yes, they're over here. Don't jump over the bumpers, don't risk it, just grab them all, turn off, and then grab them one by one. And that's 5 Chaos Emeralds of 7. So, special stage number 6, the red Chaos Emerald. With these 4 spheres here, I would recommend that you run through 2 of them, leave the other 2 for later. First thing we need to do in the special stage is we need to get all of these blocks of 16 if we want the perfect. Now the good thing about running through those two spheres, we can see where we started from, so we know we don't need to go that way. Turn left, come this way, to the next block of 16. And then the same method as before, just leave 2 for later. Just run through 2, save the other 2 for later. Come over here, next block of 16. And then you know the drill now, come this way, and then there's your final block of 16. And then we'll get our perfect. Now what you want to do here is the same thing as before really. Just run through 2 and then just leave 2. And as you can see, the speed is really starting to increase now. But by doing it this way, it means that you actually turn a lot less. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, as you can see. And then we've barely got to make any turns. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you see a blue sphere off on the corner of the left or right, just go and get it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And as you can see, I've barely got a turn, and it just makes life a hell of a lot easier. 6 more. If there is a series of red ahead of you, just jump over them. And then that's all of the spheres. And then we can claim our prize. So special stage number 7, the Cyan Chaos Emerald. I'm going to pause it here just to show you, but at the start of the level you want to turn around and come over here. Now if you look very closely, there is an incomplete perimeter of red spheres. If you jump into the corner of blue spheres here, you can turn all of these into rings. And then it's the same on the opposite side. So if you come over here, jump, and then by encircling that sphere in the middle, you can turn all of these into rings. Come over here, turn left, turn right, and then as you can see there is another set of 9 here. There are 6 rings available to grab in this level. Make sure you grab these, because if you don't, you'll miss the perfect. Grab these spheres here. Come through here. We'll come back for the other spheres later. Right, because we've kept 2, you can grab these 4 here. Because as long as we've got 2 left, we should be safe to get these rings. And then we've got the perfect. Now just follow the perimeter of these bumpers and spheres here. If you follow the perimeter, you'll find where we need to get the last 2 spheres. As you can see, things can get a bit out of control if you take too much time, but that's about it. And then there are 7 Chaos Emeralds. Now it's time for the Super Emeralds. So, special stage number 8, the Green Super Emerald. Now even though we've gone on to the Super Emerald levels, the Green Super Emerald special stage is quite easy. You'll have blocks of spheres such as that. You will see a cross of spheres such as this, with a ring in the centre. Make sure you get 1 set of these. You don't really want to touch the other cross with the ring in, because that set there will leave to the very end, because if we get that now, we'll be unable to get the perfect. The only thing you've got to watch out for in this level is your bearings. It's quite easy to get lost, unfortunately. But as you can see, it's a nice wide open space, so if the speed does crank up, try not to panic. And just if you get into a moment where you've lost your bearings, don't feel bad about just turning on the spot, just to give yourself a little moment just to think. Right, so we should have 1 more block of 16 to find. Wherever it is, there it is. Right, now we need to find that cross of spheres that I mentioned earlier for the perfect and to beat the stage. Yeah, the only thing you've got to watch out for this level is getting lost. Very, very easy to get lost. Come on, where are you? There. There's our perfect, and then there's the emerald. So, that is 1 super emerald down, 6 to go. Special stage number 9, the yellow super emerald. Now you've got a choice of where you can go at the start here. You can actually come this way, where that gold sphere is, or this way. I recommend that you come this way, just because it means getting the perfect is slightly easier. This level's very, very straightforward. As you can see, there's lots of incomplete perimeters of red spheres, and all you have to do is just walk through them. Now, this is the trickiest part of the level coming up here. I'm going to pause. You want to jump at the very, very last second where that centre red sphere is, and providing that you've timed it just right, you'll turn all of those into rings. Very easy to screw that up. Make sure you jump at the very, very last second. And then the rest of the level should be super straightforward now. Just run through these spheres as usual, run around the outside. And then the last 4, you just want to run straight ahead just as you go over this gold ball here. And that's 9 down. So, special stage number 10, the purple super emerald. Grab these spheres at the start, come over to the right, and make sure you gather these rings. I'll come over here, grab these 2 spheres over here. Now there's going to be 2 sets of 6 and then a block of 16 here, so deal with the set of 6. Go around the outside of the block of 16. Make sure you try not to jump onto those gold spheres if you can help it, just because you will lose the sense of where you are. So let's go back to the start here. Come over here, encircle these 9. Now there are going to be little sets of single spheres to grab. Don't worry about these too much. You're safe to grab them. And then this is the last little bit. Lovely. But just make sure you don't jump on any of the gold spheres, because if you do, it will make this level a hell of a lot harder. And then that's it. Home stretch now. Special stage number 11, the blue super emerald. Now this one can be quite tricky, but I'll try and explain as best as I can what you need to do. So you need to follow this path of blue spheres here. If you want to get the perfect, just make sure you jump off to the right here and gather these rings. Now what you want to do here, when you jump back, you want to make sure that you're lined up with the next blue sphere on the path that you were on. And as soon as you jump and land, hold right. Now the trick in this stage, don't make any unnecessary turns, just follow the path that's laid out for you. You only turn when the path turns. And then same again, grab these rings, find out where you were, jump, hold right, and then just stick to the path. Make sure you jump over this red sphere here. As so. When you're going after the perfect in this stage, yeah, the speed is definitely going to crank up. So getting the perfect isn't easy. Keep following the path. Just remember, don't make any unnecessary turns, only turn when the path turns. Make sure you jump here, and then we'll finish the stage backwards. That one's quite a tricky one. Special stage number 12, the white super emerald. Grab these spheres at the start. Go straight ahead, go onto these gold spheres here. Now when this incomplete perimeter of spheres come up, you can actually grab these two, jump, and then you can turn and turn all them into rings. You don't actually have to do that. It is safer just to break off, come around the other side. But by jumping it does make it a little bit faster. It's not necessary, but it's faster. Now come back over here, turn left, go up these spheres over here. Now you'll see some single sets of spheres here. Don't worry about these too much, just make sure you grab this set of 9 and then these set of 4 rings here. The single spheres are quite easy to gather up later, so if you don't get one of them here, don't worry too much. Jump over that one. Grab this set of 9. And then as soon as we get this last set of 9, we should have the perfect. And then, providing that I've done it correctly, because this is the way I always like to do the special stage, it should be 1, 2, 3, just like that. So, special stage number 13, the red super emerald. In my opinion, I think this is the most difficult special stage out of the entire 14 levels. There are a lot of rings to collect in this level, 144 to be precise. There are rings to encircle and capture, there are rings that are in the world space, so yeah, chances are that we're probably going to get to max speed in this level. One thing you want to do is just leave the sets of 4 spheres that are in the centre over there, just leave them alone for the moment, and just go after the sets of 6. To get these sets of 6, just make sure you position yourself well. So as you can see here, if we jump on these gold spheres here, we're not in a position to capture them, so you need to run around, come over here, we'll grab these while we're here, and we'll have to come all the way around this way, and then from here, as you can see, now we can capture them. So you want to focus on them to start with. As mentioned earlier, there are rings in the world space as well. If you see them, just grab them. So we'll have to come around this way to get to that 6. It's also very, very easy to get lost as well. So yeah, if try and stay cool when the speed goes up, because the speed is going to get up to max in this level no matter what you do, so just try and stay cool. And there's our perfect. Right, now we've got to knock off these sets of 4 spheres, and there's 4 of them. This is where the tricky part of the level comes in, just because it's quite difficult to, they're quite difficult to find. Right, last 4, and then because we're going so fast, we're very easily run into these red spheres here, so just get ready to turn quickly if you need to. Where are you? There you are. Whew. That was close. And then that's 13 down, 1 to go. So special stage number 14, the Cyan Super Emerald. I don't think this special stage is as difficult as the last one, but there is a little bit of a trick to it, which I'll show you very shortly. It took me a few attempts when I was playing, when I first got this game. It took me a few attempts to work out how to do it, but I'm going to show you guys so you don't have the same trouble as I did all those years ago. So when you come over here, you'll see a gold sphere. Make sure you jump onto this gold sphere. Now if you look closely, there is a bumper up there and those two spheres. What you want to do is allow yourself to go into that bumper, and what you want to do is not press anything. Don't press absolutely anything yet. And now we're going backwards, and as we're going backwards there is actually a bumper that is directly behind us. So allow yourself to go into this bumper, then turn. So jump on the sphere, bumper, bumper, turn, as so. And as long as you can do that, the rest of the special stage should be straightforward. So jump on the sphere, bumper, bumper, turn, like so. Just remember to get this centre sphere here to turn the rest of these into spheres, well, to rings, sorry. Right, now to get the perfect, same thing again. Turn. Now you want to jump here. Make sure you jump at this bit here, and then we will claim the perfect, and then that is how you get every single Chaos Emerald, Super Emerald, and the perfect for every stage. So now that the guide is finally completed, you're probably asking yourself, Pooley, that's all very well and good, but how do I actually practice these special stages? Well, the answer to that actually depends on what version of the game that you're playing. Let's talk about the most modern ports of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, Sonic Origins. The reason being is because how you access level select is slightly different than all the other versions of the game. When on the title screen, once the cutscene is completely finished, you need to press this code on the D-pad. Up, up, down, down, up, 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 up. Providing that you've done this correctly, you will hear a ring chime. If you press start again and then scroll down twice, you will see a new option, which is sound select. Once you go onto this menu, every single level in the game can be walked to. To access the special stages, you need to have a look down the bottom right hand corner of the screen where you will see sound test and a series of numbers. By pressing square on the PlayStation controller, or X if you're an Xbox player, you can change what character that you do the special stage with. So you can select Sonic, Tails, Knuckles or Amy, depending on what you want. But how you access a special stage is that all of these special stages are actually numbered in the sound test. So 00 is the first emerald, 01 is the second emerald, and so on and so forth. So 00 to 06 is the first 7 special stages that you can find in the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 portion of the game. Once you have selected the number that you want, you go to special stage and press start. This is also the same for the Sonic and Knuckles special stages as well. However, you want to start from 08 all the way up to 0E. By pressing 08 to 0E, that will give you access to the Sonic and Knuckles levels. If you actually go on to 07, it will take you to a secret special stage, but because it plays no part in getting the Chaos Emeralds or the Super Emeralds, I'm going to leave that alone. For the other versions of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, such as the original, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Angel Island and Sonic 3 Complete, the way that you access level select is exactly the same. If you start a brand new game, go on to Angel Island as normal. Then, when you actually get to the vines, make sure that you grab hold of them. Now you want to enter the following on the D-pad. Left, 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 right, 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 up, up, up. And if you've done it correctly, you'll hear a ring chime once again. If you press start and then press the A button, you'll get taken back to the title screen. Now, upon going back to the title screen, if you press start and then scroll down, you'll see sound test. And then that way, you're still able to access all of the special stages by using the sound test method that I showed you earlier. How you warp to a special stage in the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles, however, is slightly different. All of the sound test codes are the same from 00 to 06, they remain the same. The only difference this time is that there is Special Stage 1 and Special Stage 2. Special Stage 1 represents the Chaos Emerald levels, so the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 levels. So by selecting 00 to 06 on the sound test, if you want to go after any of the Chaos Emeralds, you hit special stage 1 and then the correct code. And then to special stage 2, that represents the super emeralds. And then that is the end of the guide, folks. I just want to thank you all very, very much for watching. If you did like this content, then be sure to give a like and subscribe, because it really does help me out. And I do want to do a lot more commentary such as this for playthroughs, guides, and things going forward. So thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. But take care, and bye-bye for now.